Scarcity. This is another of Cialdini's 6 principles of persuasion. The principle of scarcity is based on the fact that our desire to possess something increases when it is thought that there is limited availability. Believing a product or service is in high demand makes it more desirable and is known to encourage uptake. Consistency. Consistency states that once you commit to something, especially in writing, you are more likely to follow through or maintain the stance. People like when their thoughts and actions are aligned. Once you get someone to make a commitment, they begin to engage in self-persuasion. That is, they begin to justify related actions to themselves and others. Price anchoring. Price anchoring states that the first price presented plays a big role in the decision-making process. Door in the face. This technique involves offering a high offer to help buyers accept the actual price or quality. Door in the face creates a sense of competition, and consumers will accept the deal with a lower price. Paradox of choice. If you're offered one option, the choice is clear: do or do not buy. When you're offered 2 options, your brain focuses on choosing between the 2. Suddenly, the idea of not buying anything at all is muted. In that case, offering more than one option can help make a sale. Liking. Most people tend to agree with those they like, which is why building rapport and fostering healthy relationships is essential to persuasion. Ethos. Ethos is a public speaking technique that relies on the credibility and authority of the speaker to persuade the audience. To use ethos in public speaking, a speaker must convince their audience that they are a reliable and informed source. They can showcase ethos by sharing personal stories that prove their connection to the topic. This way, the speaker can build trust with their audience and increase the likelihood. Inclusive language. Inclusive language is a compelling, persuasive speaking technique. It fosters a sense of belonging. It also helps build credibility and trust, increasing relatability and connection. It challenges biases, encourages empathy and understanding, and demonstrates social awareness. Reciprocity. This principle refers to the human tendency to reciprocate when receiving something, and in terms of persuasion, it's a potent tool. Reciprocity builds trust as an individual and business, motivating others to give back. If a salesperson gives you a product sample, you might feel a subconscious pull to return the favor by purchasing their product. And when you receive a compliment or kind gesture, you might feel compelled to respond equally positively. Social proof. Humans are naturally social. Yes, even before social media came along. As a result, we're heavily influenced by those around us, especially if we hold them in high regard. Social proof states that you base your actions and beliefs on those around you. You're most likely to follow the lead of someone who is similar to you, or in situations where you're very uncertain. Often, there's comfort in just doing what everyone else is doing. Ratings, reviews, share counts, testimonials. Social proof is all around you. Attentional bias. Attentional bias states that you pay more attention to emotionally stimulating factors and downplay other factors. The more intense and touching something is, the more attention you pay to it. Makes sense, right? That's why fear and sex tend to be so persuasive. Emotional intelligence. Humans are emotional beings. You'll get more engagement and better results if you can stoke those emotions. Okay, maybe not every emotion works. You don't want to make a prospect angry, but you can make them happy. You can surprise them. You can even make them a bit afraid, like making them afraid of missing out on a great deal. Familiarity. Familiarity states that you prefer the things and people you are familiar with. Studies have even found you're more likely to fall in love with someone the more often you see them. Your happiness is actually correlated with how many things you're familiar with. Rhetoric. Rhetoric is the art of persuasion. Such as politicians deliver rallying cries to inspire people to act. Advertisers create catchy slogans to get people to buy products. Lawyers present emotional arguments to sway a jury. Framing. The framing effect is a cognitive bias wherein an option seems better or worse based on how it's presented. Body language. Body language plays a part in your projected confidence, but it's also a useful persuasion technique in its own right. Authority. Authority states that you have a tendency to believe that if any expert or person of authority says something, it must be true. Foot in the door. The foot in the door persuasion method is a form of door-in-the-face technique. It involves making a small request to the target individual, and if they comply, following up with a larger request. The idea is that the person will be more likely to comply with the larger request if they have already agreed to the smaller request. Loss aversion. Loss aversion states that you strongly prefer to avoid losses than to acquire gains. According to Daniel Kahneman, a psychologist, we typically fear loss twice as much as we enjoy success. IKEA effect. The IKEA effect states that the more effort we invest into something, the more we value it. Create urgency. Urgency can be created through various tactics such as limited time offers, countdown timers, Low stock alerts, exclusive deals for a short period, or emphasizing a product's or service's immediate benefits. Logos. Logos appeals to the logical side of the audience members, and using logos can help establish the ethos in writing. Performing research is a good starting point when relying on logos as your dominant mode of persuasion. As you research a topic, you can glean information that will help you present it more logically to your audience. Emotive appeals. Engaging people's feelings is another technique used to convince others. Most of the time, emotions become the motivation for why people do things. When people emotionally get in touch with you and are swayed by their emotions, they are more likely to agree with you. Through carefully choosing your words, you can evoke emotion from them. The unity. People are inclined to see people in terms of us and them. You can instantly make someone easier to persuade if you can get them to see you as part of us, rather than being part of them. You can do this by finding commonalities,